Alright, this is still section 6.3. Part of graphing is to know your transformations. And so here we go. Remember, inside is x and backwards, and outside is y and normal x values. And backwards. If it says add, you subtract. If it says backwards. If it says multiply, you divide. X, this is y values and normal. Okay? Plus or minus, this is a shift. If you're adding or subtracting, you are shifting. Oh man, that's horrible handwriting. Let's do that again. S H I F T. And we are going up, down, left, or right. I don't want you to write arrows when you do these. I do want you to write up, down, left, or right. But for the sake of the notes, it's whatever. If you are multiplying or dividing, you either you're either stretching or you're shrinking. And since if you're stretching up and down at the same time, or left and right at the same time, it is either horizontal, horizontal, or vertical. Horizontal if it's inside, because that affects vertical. Horizontal if it's inside, because that affects x values. Vertical if it's outside, because that affects y values. Y values is vertical. Last but not least, if you multiply or divide by a negative, remember, multiplying or dividing does one thing, a negative does something else. The negative is a reflection. So it reflects either A across the x-axis or across the y-axis. Alright? And again, remember, those feel backwards. So here's my point. If there's your Cartesian plane, if I am inside the parentheses, I'm changing my x values. Therefore, I'm taking my positive x and I'm moving over there to a negative x. Therefore, I'm crossing the y values, the y-axis. Alright, this one's going across the y-axis, even though it's inside. Alright, if it is outside the parentheses, alright, it crosses the x-axis, because I'm taking a positive y and making it negative, or negative y and making it positive. Okay, so remember, those feel backwards. That's just how it is. Okay, so pause if you're still writing down, but we're gonna try a few of these. All right, discard. So 9, 10, 9 and 10 real fast. If you want to pause and try them on your own, I would suggest that. That's a great idea. But if not, we're gonna move forward. Number 9 has 3 things going on. You got a negative out front. You got a negative out front, you got a 2 that you're dividing by, and you're adding 5. So let's just do them one at a time. That negative out front, if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, that is a reflection. So, and you're going across. It is outside, so it affects the y values, but it goes across the x-axis. Because if I make a y negative, I go across the x-axis. Right? That 2 in there, it is inside the parentheses, so it affects the x values, but it's also backwards, so it's not really dividing by 2, it is multiplying by 2. So if you multiply by 2, you are stretching. It is a horizontal, because x's are horizontal, stretch, because everything's backwards, by 2. Okay. Now, these ones are the awkward ones to think about. It's inside, so it's x, so it's horizontal. You're dividing, so you're really multiplying, so it's really stretching, because when you multiply, you get bigger, and it's by 2. Last but not least, you got plus 5, and that is on the outside. Anything that is not under the radical bar is outside. So it affects the y's. So it's shift, and a positive y is up 5. Okay? Try number 10. Pause the video and try number 10. Okay, we're back. Number 10 also has 3 things. It's got a 2 out there, it's got a negative in the middle, and it's got a minus 1. And I'll change colors just because I feel like it. Alright, that 2 on the outside, that affects y, so it is vertical. And you do it exactly what it says, so it is also a stretch. By 2. Okay? The negative on the inside, if you're multiplying by a negative, it's a reflection. So it's a reflect across, and it's inside, so it affects the x's, but it really goes across the y-axis. Not that it's affecting the y's, it's just going across the y-axis. There we go. And last but not least, you're subtracting 1 on the outside. So it's outside, it's y values and normal. So we're shifting down 1. Okay? We're subtracting, so we're shifting. You're going down because it's outside. Okay? And there you go.